Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and motorcycles and the gasoline and diesels and the electric vehicles and the dogs and all the good stuff. Morning there, thanks for tuning to my channel. Got my long sleeve shirt on. It's cool up here. Brr. I mean, it is cool. Saturday, 50s. Wow. 50s and rain. I mean, the change of season is here. Wow. Doggies out here. Look at the greenery. Look at me. Cleaned up. Got my green Indian hat on, my green Harley shirt on. Got my green John Deere. Yeah. Wow. Look at the earth. This is such a nice vehicle. I mean, I just truly love the Ford Bronco product. Hey, anybody out there wants an Ice Age TV sticker? Here it is. Just email iceagetvcomments@gmail.com. I'll send you a sticker if you want one to share your love of the internal combustion engine, which that's a challenge today. Look at this vehicle. Does this vehicle look custom? Does this vehicle look custom? I mean, I just think this Ford Bronco Raptor, even though at first I wasn't so excited about the big fender flares, I think this thing looks so custom. And I decided to start it up this morning because this vehicle has a lot of things on it that makes it custom, and it makes it unique to itself from the other Ford Broncos, the Bronco Wildtrak or the Diamond, Black Diamond, Badlands, lots of different packages that you can get on these Ford Broncos. So you know, the Ford grill there is actually Ford grill. The non-Raptors says Bronco. And the Jeep product over here, I love this Jeep Grand Cherokee. And what I thought this morning was we can make the conversation, the custom conversation, because most of my vehicles here are custom. They've been customized. And boy, do we live in a world today more than ever that you can customize your own vehicle. We realize or not, this Ford Mustang here has been lowered. And so I really think that has a pretty cool thing. It's had a different exhaust put on it. So it has a custom look and feel. And there go the dogs. This Ford F450, gentleman that bought this thing, special ordered it. He customized it. He changed out the shocks on it and did some upgrades in the interior. And I think he did one other thing. I think he said he did something with the front grille. I'm not really sure on that. This Ram truck right here, this truck is custom. Whoever owned this truck, they took it and they lifted it and put bigger tires on it. And then we did a straight pipe exhaust on it and did a tune on it. So this truck's been customized. And then you go over there. What I thought today was, I'm going to take my Ford Bronco Raptor here and I'm going to drive it over next to my Jeep Grand Wagoneer. And I want to show you on my Jeep Grand Wagoneer, it's pretty cool features with the air ride suspension. Hey, come on back here, Keeper. Scouty, come on. So my dog's kind of confused here. So it's this Ford Bronco Raptor. And what's really neat, it has a lot of custom features too, and my back's killing me. Now I'm going to try to prop myself up in here and even make myself go into more pain with the bird poop on my window here. But yeah, so the Ford products here, I think they've done a great job on making it custom. And what I mean by that is that you can go down here and you can change your different driving, style. And typically I go to the sport mode because I can never remember go left or right. But usually this normal mode versus I want to customize this truck, I can even go to the Raptor R setting here and I can literally go through and I can start setting up this truck exactly how I want to customize it just for me. So here's normal, here's off-road, here's Baja, and it's so cool and how this whole truck just overtakes itself. And this is so cool. Look at this here. That's just kind of interesting. So that went to the front. I've never seen that. That is very interesting, huh? Okay. So anyways, I learned something as you learned something, rock crawl. So anyways, you can customize this vehicle to ride around to the way you want it to drive for your specific conditions, which I think that's so cool. I've moved the Bronco over here next to my Jeep Grand Wagoneer. I thought to myself this morning, This is such a great vehicle, such a custom vehicle, has so many nice features and options. And I got to thinking, I wonder if my Grand Wagoneer will be higher than my Ford Bronco Raptor if I do an airbag adjustment. This vehicle rides on the airbag. Do you hear this exhaust? Is this a V8? Is this that 6.4 392 motor? I mean, this vehicle here has a really deep rumble. It's the inline six twin turbo motor. That's that new Hurricane motor. I love this vehicle. I basically have 7,000 miles as a vehicle. I've had no issues, knock on wood. So yeah, so let's look at this here now. Let's go into the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. This is the Stage 2 package, or Grand Wagoneer 2, whatever you want to call it, but it's a Grand Wagoneer. These steps are so nice, but I've been forewarned, if you ever have this vehicle down its lowest position, like I do right now, and you pull up next to a curb, these things don't have a sensor on them for pressure, you'll break them. So be very, very cognizant of that, but just very nice. Beautiful interior. Jeep's just done such a really nice job as vehicles. So now we have these little options here, and even for me, I barely ever use this stuff, but I have the option right now to raise this vehicle up. So this has the airbag suspension. So right now this vehicle should start raising, and is this a 3-inch raise, 6-inch raise? I don't even know. I'm not that far into it. I love the massaging seats. This thing is so cool. This has literally the seats that just extend out, heated seats. I mean, it's just such a nice setup. So it's still going up. Look at this here. I would think we're about ready to be. So right now we're now at the tallest height if we're going back roading. And I think that this feature only allows you to go maybe up to 40 or 45 miles an hour, I believe. So let's get out here and let's look at the vehicle now. I mean, it has a whole different stance and profile too, because this has an airbag. There you go. You see that in there? This is airbag suspension. That's why this vehicle is so comfortable. So look at the vehicle now. It has like a Chevy Tahoe look to it. But look at the height of this vehicle now over here. And there's kind of a you know, a grade here, and we'll go over here to the front. But this Wagoneer right now, in so many ways, is as tall and as high as my Bronco Raptor. Look at this here. Look at the hood. I mean, wow. And this, like I say, this is not a perfectly flat driveway. So is that impressive? That is just so cool on how this has that custom feature. And once again, this is not an inexpensive vehicle. This is a very expensive vehicle to get this fun factor. But wow, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lower it down, and you can do that actually remotely. If I can find my button here, you can take your key fob and you can actually remotely, I think, lower it. Let's see if I can do that. So now let's see. Okay, so look at these lights here. I don't even know. Do you have to lock it? I've never even done it, to be honest with you. So do you have to have a lock and do this? Maybe. I don't know. We'll spend too much time on all that stuff. So anyways, the custom, you go over to the Ram truck over here, and the person who owned this truck, they customized it. They put a nice tune on it and a nice straight pipe exhaust. This guy put an airbag suspension helper for this thing. It's pretty cool. Actually, back here is the you can inflate it back here, and also there's an air compressor that's in this truck that makes it I can change the capacity of being able to weight, tow, and everything else, and the stiffness of the back end with those airbags. So that's a custom feature. You put custom tires and wheels. The Lightning truck, we don't want to talk about that, do we? The Dodge Charger Hellcat Red Eye, whoever owned this, they customized the exhaust on it. They put custom rear track tire, drag radial on it. Much other than that, besides tinting the windows. I don't know if they did anything in the tune of this thing or not. Not real sure on that. And they put some nice mud flaps. Over here, the F-250 Tremor. I bought this truck because this has the curly suspension. And this is a very expensive upgrade option for you as an individual to go aftermarket on your own and buy the Fox shocks and the coil springs, and he has all the links under here. But then it's weird on how this person that customized it, they went and put these Deaver rear springs in it. So this is like a 110 rear suspension. So is the Fox shocks. But I think this guy was a roofing company guy because he just beat the hell out of this truck in so many ways. So beyond that, and the wheels and tires, I really like the look of the truck. And then I customized it. I put the rough country E-steps on the vehicle to be able to get in and out of the vehicle much easier. Here's the Grand Wagoneer. So now it's parked. And once again, can I do this now? Does it now activate this to go down? There it goes. Or does it? I think it is. Okay, I think when we come back out, you're going to see that. The Ford Power Boost, really haven't done anything per se to customize this, but it has all the features in it that you can change the different drive modes, like that Ford Bronco, which is so cool. So you really talk about the Jeep. Kid loves the Jeep Mojave Gladiator. At first, she wasn't excited. I traded my Ford Maverick for the Jeep Gladiator, even though I thought I was crazy to do it. But the way we work out of our vehicles, this is a better fit for me and the company. And my kid just really is falling in love with this truck, even though in some way it's underpowered. But she's a young girl. I don't have a problem with being a little underpowered, so she doesn't get herself in trouble, if you know what that means. Okay, so here it is. So the Wagoneer has lowered down. See that? What a really cool, easy in-out access. I just love the look of that vehicle. Beautiful vehicle. I think the Jeep did a great job. The Hurricane motor, I think, is a better option. I wish I'd put that option in the Jeep Gladiator. Oh, that would be such a fast. It's 500 horsepower. Inline six, over 500 foot-pounds of torque. So that motor in that, but I don't think it'll fit. It's probably too long. I'm not really sure on that. Now we're in here with the EV. We don't want to talk about that, right? That's boring. But now we go to the motorcycles. And for those out there that aren't the motorcycle enthusiasts, we've got the CVO, Custom Vehicle Operations. Meaning this vehicle is custom built for you to be so lucky to be able to buy one of these things. And I've got two of them. It's pretty interesting for me now. I'm going on now close to 10 years of me owning a CVO just about every year of my life. I did take a little time out from basically 2020 until 2021, but in 2022, I picked up a CVO. Last year I had two CVOs because I had the CVO Limited. Used to sit here and do I kind of regret selling that? In some ways I do. In some ways I kind of, that was a really nice bike, but a heavy motorcycle. I mean, very heavy. So over here on the motorcycles, the custom, you have custom options. Being it now, you can go into your infotainment system and you can get your different ride modes. Indian, I think, kind of forced the hand for Harley to go to the more custom features on the motorcycle. And for anybody that's the Harley enthusiast, you kind of know when you go to the CVO, you're going to get, of course, the bigger motor. That was more the bigger thing. When you bought a CVO, you always get the latest, greatest, bigger motor. And you always have the aesthetics. You always have the really cool foot controls and hand controls, the paint theme, just a higher end quality looking motorcycle. Here with the Indian product, we can go in here to our settings, and you have different settings here for rain, standard, and sport. And so Harley Davidson has done the same thing. One thing Harley hasn't done is they haven't created electronic suspension, which I'm kind of surprised. I really am surprised that Harley didn't do that because, I mean, this is a very expensive motorcycle and they're building so many of them because I guess I expect everybody to ride one of these things. And so now for the Harley this year, though, they really did do a whole new update with the inverted forks. And here's the thing that's really interesting is if Harley hadn't released this new redesigned model, I would not have bought it. I'd be very content with my CVO here in the back, and I'd be very content where my Honda Goldwing's sitting with my CVO Limit I used to own, and I would have just left it at that. I wouldn't have been on the page about a new CVO. So that is just crazy in my life and how things kind of play out. the motorcycle gods, all that stuff. So we got the custom conversations, and just, you know, me. I just like to share the love of the vehicles that I own. And there goes the wife. You see me, you know, she's alive, and she just loves that Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's funny, every time I pull out this EV vehicle right here, I bought this EV vehicle for my wife, and it has 3,000 miles on it. Yeah, I've had it now for like a year. I've had it now, I guess, about 17 months, close to 18 months. And the wife has the what is it called? The range anxiety. Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge for my wife, is she feels like she's gonna be in a problem, and she'll have to go charge your car somewhere. She just doesn't want to do it. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with my gate opener. The arm opener just doesn't end. So we got to get upstairs here. A lot of talking, a lot of yakking. But I thought I'd share the idea, conversations, and what kind of spurred that was Elon Musk. Is anybody paying attention? This guy, Elon Musk, this guy, is he trying to reinvent the world? This guy, in some ways, is out of control. In other ways, is he really good for mankind? Nope, get on back. Get on. I'm waiting for Daddy to come in the office. Come on, let's get in. And another long night of a brutal back. My back definitely is starting to get better, but oh my gosh, my back is so bad. I guess playing that softball throwing competition threw up my back. You think you're 17 years old, think you can do these activities when you're a kid, and then you freaking pull your body out like I did. Yeah, I've done that more than once. All right, let's sit down here. So yeah, custom. Elon Musk, yeah, we'll share that in a second. I thought to myself, custom, more than ever, we can custom order cars. More than ever, that's the big hit thing for Dodge, is you can get a jailbreak. The last run, the Dodge Challenger, Charger, you can customize that thing in so many different configurations. You can make it uniquely to yourself of whatever makes you think funky colors excite you. So, in the automotive world today, we're at the disposal of having, more than ever in a lifetime, these custom vehicles without you having to go out afterwards and customize it. And that was the thing so many years ago. The customization is huge today, but more than ever, today's factory-built cars give you so many options, like that Ford Bronco Raptor. Are you really? I mean, I know there's people out there that are customizing them over and above what they already have. But for me, I guess if you're the Baja guy, but I mean, I just think, why'd you buy the Raptor? Just buy the Bronco and get the body and just gut the thing out and do your custom suspension. Why would you take a Bronco Raptor you spent $100,000 on and then modify the suspension? To me, you've ruined the value of the car. If I went to the dealership and I saw a guy had modded a Raptor, I'd be like, I don't want that, because I know I'm going to be stuck with it, because you're going to want too much money for it, and there's just no value. GT500, the Hellcat, same thing. If you want to buy these really custom cars and you customize them, I just think, what a waste. Why don't you just buy a regular Dodge Challenger, like an SRT package, and then just gut it out and do all your race mods to it? I mean, I get it. The Hellcat has a lot of things that are already built, but the problem is they're $100,000 cars now. You can buy a nice used SRT for $40,000. What could you do for our $60,000, $70,000? I guarantee a lot of people would say, I could do a hell of a lot more than that factory one you paid $100,000 for to go race with it. So we are very privileged at this time in the ICE age to be able to have factory-built custom cars. I never imagined that. Something I didn't mention on that Ford F-250 Carly package out there was, it's pretty incredible. And I like to go over there real quick and show you one of my trucks I had. But the days of lifted trucks back in the 70s and 80s, that was a huge growing trend. And I just loved trucks. That's what's real. It's right here. If I can get my camera to kind of not put a sheen on it. There's the second Chevy truck I owned in my getting going in my life, step side, and a gentleman customized that and put like a 6-inch lift. I changed out the tires and wheels on it, but the guy did a custom interior on it, and just a beautiful, really great truck. Underpowered 305. There's my Cuda that I owned both of those at the same time. That was back in like 1983. 1983, I already had my car addictions taking off. And so, but here's the thing. So this became a problem in the state of Virginia. They started outlawing this type of customization of your truck. There were people getting killed by these modified trucks that weren't the safest things in the world. I actually even know of an individual that had a truck he modified, and he ran over somebody in a car crash and killed some people. So there was a time frame back in the 80s that the illegal conversations that I had yesterday, I thought to myself, so Monday was injury conversations, Tuesday was pain, Wednesday was illegal, today's customs. What are we seeing happen in our country with the illegals, the customs? Yeah, so custom, that time frame from like 1984, 85, I can't remember exactly the time frame, but those trucks became illegal. And you actually had to go through inspection with your truck, and they would get a tape measure out and measure the height of your bumper. And that went on for years, and I totally went my direction of getting my career going. I just wasn't in or had the money at the time to be focused on building a custom truck. And it was to my amazement so many years later that all of a sudden these trucks in the state of Virginia are allowed to be lifted again. So that law was in place 5 years, 10 years. I don't know. Anybody that's a huge Virginia native here that is a huge off-road guy could probably tell me, 1985 or 84, they banned that type of lift on your truck. It was illegal. You get pulled over. And that lasted for 10 years or 6 years. Somebody overruled that and blah, blah, blah. And then even to the point here to this date, those big tires in that Tremor truck, my understanding is that, like in Maryland, I think if you're X amount of inches outside your fender well, it's illegal. And Virginia, I don't think has that law. But there's some states where if your tires go too far outside of your fender well, what about the squat? Have you ever seen the North Carolina squatters where the truck goes down the road and it looks like it's the moon truck getting ready to launch to the moon? Yeah, that's been borderline illegal, I think. I think there's been a lot of back and forth to that actually happen. If you go out south, it's just if you go to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, down south, you start seeing all these what they call squatters. The trucks are lifted and they go down the road like they're getting ready to do a launch. They look like they're at the drag racing, and they just launched their truck and it's going to the moon. Needs wheelie bars, right? So, what's crazy is as time progressed with the automotive manufacturers, I just to this day remember buying my first Ram truck, diesel 2500 back in the summer of 1997. And that thing was so factory lifted. And that's what's so crazy today is more than ever now, you go and buy a brand new truck, and some of these trucks just out of the gate are what we were trying to accomplish back in the 70s and 80s and even 90s. And yet today, the factory lifting these things and the stance of them is just incredible. But yet I see all the time advertising people doing these 3-inch, 6-inch, like that Jeep Gladiator, the first one I had. I put a leveling kit on the first one, and I was able to get 37s under it. Now, with this Mojave package that I have, I'm just not excited about the kid's a work vehicle. The kid's very happy with it. So I'm just going to kind of leave it alone. Whatever, maybe go up to 35 tire on it. Maybe, that would give it, I think, I already know that Mojave package, the 35 would fit under it. Yeah, severe backroading wouldn't work, but I could customize it for that. But that's not the big thing. So here's the custom. So we all have our own custom. We kind of take the car talk and you go to the UAW. Are they accustomed to what they're witnessing more than ever in work? I mean, just take a UAW worker. And I think a lot of things that's going on behind the scenes, if you're on the assembly line and you see all these high-dollar cars being built, and then you drive down the road and you see all these high-dollar cars on the roads, I mean, they're just not accustomed to that. I mean, I think that more than ever in society, the social media, you can just see so much. And I know, I have people reach out on my channel and some think like, who the hell are you? How many millions of dollars do you have? Because they're not accustomed to just seeing some guy that looks like me walk around with a gazillion cars and motorcycles. And so that kind of like, how do you accomplish that? We're all more accustomed to the typical person has 2-3 cars, trucks, a motorcycle or two, their house. That's just kind of who we are in society is what's the average amount of cars. and that, the average household. And most of us are accustomed to having to go to work to make a living to be able to buy these things. But more than ever, we're witnessing the greed and the richness more than ever in our country and society. And I think the UAW people that just kind of digs deep into underneath their skin, that they just feel like they're underpaid. I mean, who doesn't feel underpaid? I mean, I just can't emphasize enough of where this country is right now, of where it's so easy just to feel that everybody else is richer than you. I mean, I had that feeling back in 2004, 5, 6. I mean, oh my gosh. I'll go into more depth on that one day, those conversations. But the thing is, we're all accustomed to traditions of our work values, family values. And the UAW, I guess in so many aspects, their feeling is that they're being sacrificed at the expense of others, and especially the select few that run these big companies and make all this money. And that's the big Shawn Fain constant message, is the big guys are making too much money and the little guy isn't. But here's the thing. The word out there is where they're at with these deals. They're at $150,000, $152,000 packages. So the big three are just constantly shaking their head that they're saying, this custom negotiation agreement that you have brought to the table, it doesn't meet the customs of what's traditionally worked in the manufacturing automotive sector. And that's the big clash, is that the big three sees that if they go to this custom agreement, that they're going to be in the market challenged to compete because their payroll is going to be through the roof for these UAW workers. And that's why, and I know I haven't really checked the news this morning per se, but I think it's an ongoing problem. So yeah, that custom vehicle you ordered, there's no doubt in my mind that you're probably now in the challenge to get your custom ordered vehicle, because they're saying that not only does the UAW affect the manufacturer, it affects the parts suppliers. And it's just a whole chain of vehicles. Have you ever seen the the NeuroSky? Oh my gosh, Elon Musk. Can you keep up with all these damn names? Twitter's now X. He has X.I, OpenAI, basically artificial intelligence. He has SpaceX. He has, Skylink? Is it called Skylink? I'm not even really sure on that. The satellite system he puts up in the sky. And now Neuralink. You're going to be able to custom design yourself. Have you heard about this? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so before we get to that, so for the UAW, they're customizing what they feel is a better overall working conditions, and the list goes on and on and on. And then they see on how the IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, from Joe Biden, is going to have all these massive amount of manufacturing companies coming to our country that are going to build cars, build electric batteries and semiconductors and solar panels, and the list goes on. And they're intimidated by that because they feel like that they're going to be circumvented from their job. Here's Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company, TSMC, that's really getting already very, worried that this brand new factory that they've buddied up with on the U.S. side to build semiconductors. As you know, the Inflation Reduction Act has in that bill billions of dollars in incentive for companies to come here, set up shop, and to start bringing all this foreign manufacturing back to our country. And so this article I read is the Taiwan individual, Taiwanese, whatever you say, you get tongue twisted. They're very concerned that the Americans don't know how to build this factory correctly, because these semiconductors, when they go through the manufacturing process of any type of impurities in the air or whatever it may be, it's radical. So they're already arguing with stateside here that they need to send people here to help them get this factory built together. But the union people are saying, nope, we're not going to do this. This is our ball game. Too bad. It's going to be, and so already they're speculating that this manufacturing plant in this country is not going to be the greatest of an operation. And that's a whole other talk and conversation that's going on among many, is the fact the UAW, their expectations are they need to be rewarded and paid better. But on the outside of it, so many people are saying this country is in a transition to bring back all these manufacturing jobs that we sent overseas, that is now 20 plus years of these international companies and countries that have really been better at growing these manufacturing technology, infrastructure, employees. In stateside here, we've lost that. And so many are saying now, even this Inflation Reduction Act, bringing all this manufacturing back to this country, who's going to be the qualified people that are going to be able to work these type of jobs? Because it's a very strenuous job in so many aspects of today's society, this country, because so many people witness more than ever that people have custom jobs, meaning that more than ever, people can remotely work from their home. And that's huge. I mean, so if you're an individual right now, you have an option to stand on a factory floor and put cars together and make, let's just say, 50 grand. Or you can stay at home and you can work behind your computer and not have to go to a factory and have your own lifestyle at home for 50 grand. Which one are you going to sign up for? And that's a very big concern right now, that the younger generation is not going to want to be in this type of manufacturing sector. But I tell you what, with all the illegals coming through the customs at record numbers, I guess for the most part, but here's the challenge. You're taking all these illegal immigrants. What level of education do they have to even work in these manufacturing facilities? So that's the talk. That more than ever, we're going to be building high-end technology. They're saying you're bringing back manufacturing. One thing, when you have people building furniture and putting together basic things, but now you're talking about a whole different angle of you're bringing this technology back to our country. It's very sophisticated. It's very in-depth. And so, I mean, I can't see it. And that's what they're saying, is that the production of these manufacturings in our country to compete with other manufacturing in other countries, these people are saying it's going to be very, very challenging, because it's just of the labor costs. People here expect higher incomes. People expect lower hours. People expect better benefit packages. And in this country, the biggest challenge in the automotive side is absenteeism. People don't come to work, and retaining workers. There's a whole article about that. It talks in great length about how today's manufacturing sector, the huge challenge is people don't show up to work on a regular basis. And they're not able to retain these people. They will not stick around long enough after they go through all the training. Anybody has a business, you have no idea how many hours and days and weeks and years I have spent with somebody to evolve into knowing how to run a business, knowing how to do things in a business. Until you own your business, you just don't get this stuff. Just like my daughter. My daughter, pandemic summer, she worked with me. Through the pandemic time, she kind of worked with me here and there. And now, really, since this past, I guess you could say March this year, she has worked with me. And is she learning? Yes, she is. Can she do what I can do? There's no way. It's not even possible. I mean, so like yesterday, I had to go out and do a job because here's my back, and I'm in bad shape. I look good, but I'm going to tell you what. Yeah, the pain factor, you have no idea of what I'm going through, but I make it all work. And yesterday, I had to go crawl around my hands and knees, and I had to put my daughter somewhere else. And I had to go do all this manual labor yesterday with my back killing like you can't believe. That's the thing I tell people all the time. I get an award every year in my business. Whether you realize it or not, I do get an award every year in my business. I need to start putting awards up behind me, because I get the award of being the best, worst employee of the year every year. Yeah, if you're a small business owner, you get that message. So anyways, going back to the UAW wants to customize their lifestyle. And we're witnessing more than ever, people are wanting to customize their ways of how they think the world should work. And that's the word custom. Custom is tradition. We are so used to, as individuals, especially my age, you have the routine, you have the same thing, you have that, just the custom of how you were brought up, and the family and God, faith, education, work. And more than ever right now, we are being subject to individuals being elected that want to change the custom of this country. They want to change the education on what's being taught, They want to change how law is enforced, is not enforced. They want to change how immigration isn't enforced. They want to change what you have the right to look like versus don't have the right to look like. They want to change. I mean, you can start going through the list of today. We have individuals wanting to customize lifestyles and force it on so many others. Wow. And so when the electric vehicles start to be more prevalent, are they? Are they? Sincerely. What's the saying? Don't put the cart before the horse. Oh my gosh, more than ever in our society, I just think it's just like this manufacturing side. We're building this massive manufacturing infrastructure in our country, but who's going to show up to do the jobs? Who's going to be qualified? Who's going to have the custom of growing up in the traditional family of the working values and not be a drug dealer, be a drug abuser? And then the stealing now is to be bragged about in social media. There's people now that brag about, what do you do for a living? I steal. This is just beyond believable where we are in today's society. That people are customizing their lifestyles to make everybody else think, hey, look at me, I'm pretty cool. Just wow, it gets deep. Anyways, that's it. It gets to be a very long video, I know all that. I gotta go to work. Another long day for me, and I hope this video just helps you look at all the different things about these cars and trucks and vehicles that I own. And I'm very fortunate, I'm blessed, but it's very expensive. I had a very serious conversation with Ford Credit yesterday. Yeah, do I have challenges? Of course I have challenges. I'm a one-man show business now that I used to have two other individuals help me run. It's much more challenging. There's a lot of variables behind the scenes you just don't understand and don't know about. You don't need to know about. But the whole point is, I was talking to the Ford Credit guy, and I was asking him about, have things changed? And he just, you know what, great kid, perfect example, remote worker. This is the guy that has basically grew up in Florida, and once the pandemic came in, it gave him opportunity to move to Texas because he can remotely work anywhere he wants, because it's just basically making phone calls and managing commercial accounts for Ford Credit and keeping things in good order. And great guy. And I told him you got to check out my channel, and so you don't have to subscribe, just check it out. And so, young man, but great guy. But I said, what's going on? And the policies. I said, I know you can't. But what was interesting, he said, what we're seeing more is the $700 plus car payment. And he said, that's kind of changed things. And he said that, just so many years ago, it was the $350 car payment. And he said, what people just don't understand is the $700 car payment, $700 a month car payment probably has $100, $200 a month, $300 a month insurance payment. And then you have to buy the gas and the maintenance. So, that $700 a month car payment really is a $1,200, $1,300, maybe $1,500 a month obligation. Wow. I was seeing some statistics of where we are in today's society of basically the economics of owning a home, renting. And so, believe it or not, when I was growing up, my age frame, there was 18% of your income was required to live and have a home or rent a house or rent an apartment, whatever it may be. So for today's generation that's getting going, it's 36%. So it's doubled. It's double the amount of money needed for you to be able to have roof and shelter. Wow. And I even think that number's low. I really think it's probably 40, 42%, maybe some instances 50%. It just kind of depends where you live. And that's one thing the individual did mention is he could go to Texas. He'd get a heck of a lot of house more, and he wasn't touching his next door neighbor. There's none of those stories. All right, everybody. Hey, I hope everybody has a great day. Thanks for all the comments. Appreciate support. Share the channel. Want a sticker? Email me at icehtvcomments@gmail.com. Hey, everybody. God bless. Stay safe. Have a great day. And stay tuned for more conversations